Welcome to another Kamikaze creation video. This one's been sitting in the waiting list for a while. Purchased this a while back now and I love it, but it does have an oil pressure problem and it has a really severe tick in the motor, and I'm going to start investigating what it is. So it's an LS1 6-speed 1 tonner, the same as my work ute. This is the ute that I always wanted because it's got the 6-speed box in it, and my work ute has the auto box in it. So we're going to start stripping this out. As you can see, I've made a bit of a start, made a bit of a mess, pulling the radiator pack out, and plan on dropping this motor straight out through the bottom. So dropping the subframe and everything straight down on the ground, and then we'll start the investigation. Anyway, keep watching and we'll get into it. Here's the radiator, and behind there you can see the thermo fans sitting on the ground. And I do have a brand new aluminium radiator that I bought for my work ute and I've never used. Down here we have a few of the underbody guards that need to come off. And then if we come up over here, the air conditioning in this car didn't work either. And as part of the process, I found that this air conditioning line had broken. And I had the same on my work ute. So good find, much easier to get to that. They run down and under here and over to the compressor. So that's going to be an easy fix while I've got this engine out of the car. Anyway, that's where we're at, making progress. Let's keep going. Just thought I'd show you the interior of this ute. I've done a little bit of tidying up just after I bought it, got the seats redone and gave it all a good clean up. But she looks really good. She's much cleaner than my work ute because it's had years of being out and about on the work site. This one should be nice once I get it running nice. Anyway, that's the interior. I'm still working my way through all of these cooling pipes. This main pipe here joins the radiator hoses top and bottom. And also, if you get over here a bit further, you can see a pipe, try to get it in focus, pipe down below here, that runs up to the water pump. So there's one hose that's a straight connection and the other hose runs back down to that pipe, which is a return hose on the coolant running through the water pump. I've cleaned the floor about 3 times already and I keep dumping water, but I'll get there eventually. This is the messy part of pulling this out. So what I'm going to do next, you can see a couple of screws down here, and here, and that'll remove the whole lot of this cooling pipe channel, which just give me a bit more access and allow me to clean everything up as I go and get ready to pull the engine out. As you can see, we've raised the car up a little bit further on the hoist after getting all that cooling system dismantled, and I have gone under here and taken off the exhaust system. So I broke it down at the extractors and dropped the drive shaft out. I've also loosened on the gearbox mount. I've loosened the 4 bolts holding that mount, and there are 4 bolts on the front cross member. 2 up here, 1 this side and 1 the other side. You can reach up through this and feel it there. And then on the back end, there's another 2. This one up here goes to the engine mount, so you don't need to do that one. But up in here, up under this lower control arm, there's another bolt holding the cross member to the chassis rail. So one this side, one over that side, one here, one over that side. So there what I'll be dropping out. The thing I'm having trouble with at the moment is the clutch line. It's very similar to the brake line, and the other things I'll have to do are the brake lines to drop them out. I'll show you a little bit more about what I've done in the engine bay, dropping off all of the injector rail system and the electronics when we get back up above. You can see on this side I've removed the brake line and the ABS sensor. So the ABS sensor goes in here and the brake line on the caliper. And if you track those both up, they both sit in this bracket, which then attaches up to the body, and the body's going to lift off. So I've taken both those out on this side, and I'm now going to do the other side so I can drop this whole unit straight out. I've also done the clutch, which is a good thing. If we come over to this side, haven't started yet, you can see that brake line attached just there and the ABS sensor in here. So it's a little bit difficult to see, but you can see up here is the clutch line, and this bracket actually mounts to the body, and it didn't have a nut on it, so this has been taken off before. I'm seeing a few signs that this gearbox is out, probably to replace the clutch. Yeah, so that again, this runs up to the master cylinder, which obviously is fixed to the body. So I had to disconnect that to be able to drop this whole unit out. So you can see the injector rail sitting over here. It basically had to unbolt from the motor, and as it's attached still to the fuel lines, and I wasn't sure how to detach those. I'll do a bit of research on that. So I just lifted it up and put it at the side, and you can see the main engine harness coming here and running down, and I just had to disconnect all of the wires associated with it. The ones on the back I didn't do until after I started dropping it down, but over at the side here there are a couple of wires as well. Obviously the two battery cables, positive and negative, dropped off, but they're just in behind here. There was a cable that ran up into this fuse box, 10mm nut on it. It popped out, and down in here there was also another couple of wires attached to this earth just here. That was basically from the battery side of things. Other than that, most of the stuff I missed was on the back of the motor. But this needs all a good clean up. I'll worry about that when I'll worry about all the cables and the reconnections once I get done to this motor, what needs to be done. As you can see, this is all really greasy down here. I think the where the shift mounts on is there's a gasket in there. I think that's been leaking, and she's pretty dirty around the back end and very dirty around the front end. So there's obviously been a few oil leaks, which I need to fix up in the process of doing this. And in the next video, I will start, I think I'm going to separate the motor and gearbox and separate the motor from the cross member, give them all a good clean up, and then I'll start on the tear down of the motor. At this stage, I'm thinking definitely lifters, because that's where the biggest knock is, and I think these are LS1 lifters in this, I'd say, and the upgrade that's suggested is LS7 lifters. It's going to be a cam, it's probably timing set, definitely new oil pump and water pump while I got it pulled apart, and we'll make our way through it and go from there. So watch the next video, and we'll start to tear this down and see what the damage is like inside the motor. Should be exciting. Cheers. Bye for now.